We are, Lewis and I are on a vision quest.
Vision quest.
We are in Glen, Virginia, going to see my buddy KW. So, I hope we're at the right place. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we make it alive.
Yeah.
It's at 9526, right?
Well, where you're sitting right now was built in 1826.
Oh, no way.
And it was capped off in the 40s with that place up top. This used to be this wall wasn't here. And you came in off the garage there, you came all the way into here, and they pulled buggies in. Because this whole thing was a big apple orchard back here. And they used buggies, and they crated up the apples, and the horse-drawn buggies carried the apples out.
Oh, no way.
So when they broke down, or something had to be done, or a horse needed to be shot, or something like that, they brought them right in here. And this was the carriage house, basically, you know, and the garage for that. And then in the 40s, they put the apartment upstairs for one of the family to live in or something. I can't remember exactly who was in that. But
So, like, are most of the people in this town have been here forever, right? How did you end up in Bremerton?
I'm kind of an odd duck because I left. You know, most people don't ever leave unless they were in the military or something like that, you know, and they had to. He just calls me out of the blue and says, I got a gig if you want to do it. And so I was supposed to stay like about 6 days. And I stayed about 6 weeks. And immediately came back here, gathered up my shit, bought an old pickup truck, and drove it back out there.
That is
And was there for like 11 years.
Is that where you met your wife, was in Bremerton? Or were you
my
married?
current wife.
Current wife?
Yeah. I met her in Bremerton. Actually, she just had moved to Bremerton not too long before we, like, not days maybe, or a week before we met.
Wild.
And,
That is
and
wild.
Smitty brought her into Amaretto's one night.
Mm-hmm.
And for just totally coincidence, Jack had cut his finger at work at the cafe.
Yeah.
So he didn't play that night. So I had to play by myself.
Ah.
So the first time she ever saw me play, I was solo.
Okay.
But she liked it.
That's cool.
Because he kept telling her, well, he plays country and lots of hillbilly music and stuff, but you'll like it. She's, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
I hate country. You know, I hate that kind of music. So she never came. And finally he said, you're coming. And he drug her into the bar, and that was that.
Now she's in. Now she.
For some reason, I get this, like, people want to bring their kids. I don't want to teach the kids.
Yeah.
Because then I have to teach the parents, too. Right? Because, like, if you have a kid and you bring him to me and say, I want to teach him guitar, well, you're going to have to go home knowing what I taught them so you can keep them doing it all week till they come back.
Keep on them.
Because the kid's not going to do it. I had 4 days a week of 6 and 7 students a day. And it drove me insane. One of those was an adult. The rest of them were young kids. And it drove me bonkers.
What's that thing on the wall?
Mountain dulcimer.
That's a lap dulcimer.
What is that?
They're kind of cool.
It's a mountain instrument. You lay it on your lap, and it's already fretted
You drone
in
it.
a major key.
Yeah, you drone. And
See how the frets aren't?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it compensates for the half steps for you.
Okay.
So it'll do a major key just going ba 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 ba, and you leave one string droning and you strum it this way on your lap.
Why don't you just show us a little bit?
Let me see if it's even. This one isn't even close. Hold on a sec. Let me get the little one because it's harder to hold on to because it's so tiny.
Yeah.
It plays better. You're supposed to lay this on your lap like this, right?
Okay.
And they take a feather or a quill and use it to slide up and down the strings and strum it like this.
Oh, cool.
Right? But it's so tiny, sometimes I'm smacking it, it wants to fly off my lap. So I hold it like this.